everyone. What a joy it is to be with you on this fabulous night where Seaside is committed to assisting you to experience abundance everywhere within your life and your world. For Seaside is a spiritual nexus that is inspiring people to live their divinity, and tonight is one of those gifts that we are giving back to you. The ministers got together at Seaside and said, what is it that we could do for you, for our community? And we thought in these economic times, the best thing we could do is give you some wonderful tools to create greater abundance in your life. And so tonight we have got a wonderful teacher here. I was just excited to come back to be able to introduce Reverend Catherine. I was at Disneyland opening the park at 8 o'clock this morning. And by 10 o'clock in the morning, I had ridden on Pirates of the Caribbean twice, the Haunted Mansion once, and Splash Mountain 4 times. All by 10 in the morning. And then we got to Space Mountain. That was an hour. So things changed after that. But I didn't want to miss this opportunity to share with you a powerful, powerful teacher. And so to set the tone, I invite you to move with me in this wonderful realm of mind and consciousness in which Spirit speaks. For truly this evening, Spirit is speaking through Reverend Catherine, and all of us are invited to tap into that consciousness and hear what it is she hears, to feel that which she feels, for she becomes that mouthpiece for God this evening. She is that vortex through which that wisdom that guides the universe expresses itself here tonight. For tonight is a profound moment in all of our lives. For truly there's a shift that is taking place in consciousness, and I know right now that Reverend Catherine is that place that it comes forth and something inside of us stirs after we hear and we feel. For truly we are blessed tonight to be part of this emerging abundant consciousness, open to those gifts, those ideas, and those personal insights. We go forth receptive to the gifts of God, and so it is. Amen. Well, I want you to know that Reverend Catherine is a teacher first, for sure. She is the Dean of the Holmes Institute. That is an accredited master's degree program in consciousness study. She has 3 campuses, one here in San Diego, she has one in LA, and one in Seattle. This year alone, she is graduating 18 ministers into the field that are graduating with a master's degree, an accredited master's degree. Students literally come from states across our nation to take classes from Reverend Catherine and what she has created. She is a visionary. She is a wonderful teacher. She comes from Boston, so she is the sophistication of Seaside, graduating from wonderful New York University. She brings excellence. She brings the academia. She brings a heart, a soul, a funness to the wonderful tools of abundance she is about to share with you tonight. Please join me in welcoming our very own Reverend Catherine Economou.
Thanks. Have fun. I'll take it. It's Hofstra University, by the way. And Anderson Cooper actually happened to be there on Wednesday. So if anybody was watching that, which I'm going to tell you later not to watch CNN, but if anybody was watching it, they were right where I used to hang out, right in front of Hofstra Hall. So he can never get that name straight. Good evening. Hello. How is that sound? I sound a little bit loud. Great. Okay. So I'm so excited about this. I was away last week and wasn't able to be here on Monday night with Dr. Christian, and so I came back into town. And when we had set this together, we said, okay, well let's get together and do some classes. And so we figured they'd be our classes. We'd have our little circles, and we'd talk about things and everything. And I came back and heard that there were 300 people. And last Monday night, I'm like, oh my God! And so I thought, how fun is it going to be to start this evening with such energy? And so my evening's called The Economics of the Spirit. And for those of you who are in the know, you will recognize that it's based on Eric Butterworth's book, Spiritual Economics. It's my favorite teaching. It's my favorite teaching across the board. It's my favorite teaching on prosperity. It's my favorite teaching on spirituality. It's my favorite teaching on life. So if you don't have it, we're going to sell out the bookstore, and they're going to have to order more, and they're going to sell out again, because this is one of the best examples of how to live a whole, complete spiritual life. So we're going to have some great fun this evening. But first, I want to ask, I understand we're in this whole big process. We've all got our little wristbands, and a lot of people were here last week. And so I'm wondering if anybody had any demonstrations this week, any stories about your wristbands, anything that you wanna share with us, Gail? So, oh, you need that. There you go. Thanks.
You know, I got the wristband last Monday night, and I go home, and my wife goes, "What the heck is that purple thing on your wrist?" You know. So I explained it, and she put it to the test. She waited till I sat down on the couch, laid down with my pillow, and she says, "Could you go get me some ice cream?" Almost. Almost, but I still have it on the same wrist.
Yay, good. She can't trick you there.
I'm Bill, and the other day Christian asked me how I was doing. I said, I can't complain.
There's one right there.
Okay, my name's Michelle. People have asked me to tell this story, and if you're here, please let me know. I work a second job in the evening, and this is one of the avenues that may not have been anticipated with the wristband on, and I'm working my second job, which is at Marshall's in the fitting room, and this lovely lady comes in with an armful of things, and she starts to hand them to me. We both see each other's wristbands. We've never seen each other here at church, and we both do the happy dance. You know. So anyway.
That's great. That's great. There used to be a cartoon. You could say, "Wonder Twins activate." Anybody know that? Oh, there you go. I'm dating myself. Sorry. Is that the more that we're aware of what it is that we're saying, the more that we're aware about what our thought processes are, then we can start to be present and be clear. And so that's what I want to start with tonight. I realize that I could tell you the best, greatest, most amazing secret into what it would take to live a fully prosperous, most amazing, rich life, right? But what I figure is that with all of us, with all the baggage that we carry from our whole financial life, you're not going to be able to listen to it because you're still thinking about, well, that's not going to apply to me, or that won't really work in my life. So what I want to do is I want to start with us just releasing that old stuff, right? So we're going to do a little exercise here. I want you to think about, well, first of all, more than anything else that happens in our lives, financial issues seem to weigh on us, right? It feels like we define ourselves more by our financial history and what that means about us. And it's all self-imposed. It's nothing from the outside. It really is an inside job here. But for some reason, money has such a charge. And I don't really know why. I don't know why that is, but I'm dedicated for us to removing that charge and finding a way to redefine ourselves from the inside out.